We will call this meeting on Monday, June 23rd, in session at 6 p.m. Thank you all for joining us on this extremely hot day. We're very happy to have you. With that, if you have any device that might ring, buzz, jingle, play us a song, please turn it on silent so that we can give you our full attention and you ours. So with that, council will stand for our Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, tonight we thank you for this day and all that you send in it. We thank you for those around us in our community that's filled with kindness and peace when our world seems to be filled with chaos and stress. Please help those that are affected by the heat and don't have adequate provisions to stay cool. Please help those that are affected by war and help all those that feel hate. In His name, we ask that you give us wisdom and understanding to do the town's business this evening. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Before we start this evening, I did want to caution everyone in regards to the heat. I know you see it on TV, I know you see it on Facebook, and you see it everywhere else. However, it's worthy of lumping all those things together. Duke Power put out a press release this afternoon asking for what they call a hard request for conservation. I used to work at Duke Power for 25 years and put together those news releases, so I can tell you, close your blinds, close your shades, don't go in and out of the doors any more frequently than is necessary. Keep your thermostat set at a reasonable temperature. Make sure that your animals are cared for. Make sure that your elderly and your neighbors are cared for. Heat and dehydration can kill people and animals, so please. The last thing I saw that I thought was important was if you are like me, I have a hose pipe outside. Please run the water before you touch a child with it or an animal with it. It can reach 130 degrees sitting in that pipe. So you need to run it clear before you actually use it. A child can be burned by that. These are not unprecedented times here, but they're certainly difficult and challenging. I'd like to first start off to thank every person on staff at the town, from the police department that absolutely is on the street all the time, the fire department that has to respond to conditions that are even hotter than yours and mine are in this parking lot, to our utility workers that worked on Sunday all day to repair a sinkhole without a break. I don't like walking across the parking lot, much less standing on a street and having that much heat around me. So I feel blessed to be here and be surrounded by people committed to the service to this town. And I'd like to thank them, and I'm sure this council agrees. So thank you all. Please be safe. With that, council members, you have received the May 19th and June 9th meeting and workshop notes. Are there any changes, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, thank you so much. Public comment. Pursuant to Section 2-46 of the Code of Ordinances for the Town of Fort Mill, any citizen of the town may appear before council for the purpose of providing comments on any municipal matter with the exception of personnel. Those who wish to speak must sign in outside the council chambers prior to the start of the meeting. Citizens will be given 3 minutes. Johnny Murdoch? Yay. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mayor and the council.
Good afternoon.
I'm gonna put my stopwatch on. You said 3 minutes. All right, I'm gonna try, okay? All right. They have some street names on it.
Mm-hmm. I see Joe Lewis and Green Hill.
Yeah, one Green Hill. Okay, so the Green Hill one, it's really bad. Like somebody's gonna get killed going around the curve. So it needs a lip on it. You know how you have a concrete lip? The thing that-
A curb.
A curb. And it doesn't have that.
Okay.
It's just open. So when you go around this curve, you can drop down into that main water area because it doesn't have a lip. So people go around it all the time. You have to go out like this and then make a turn. Because if you make it sharp, and, you know, older people drive, they're not looking, and you know, you have children driving and they're flying around that thing. And then when they have the funerals, it's right across from the cemetery, the Greenville Cemetery. So when people are parking there, they can get stuck in that hole because it has nothing to prevent them from doing it unless they can really, really see. At night, you can't see it at all.
Right.
Anderson Street has horrible street. You just have to go down and you'll see just potholes everywhere. Anderson Street, Fort Mill. Let me see what else. And I wanted to show you this too. I just have a question about this. And I'm trying to hurry, y'all.
No, you take, it is.
Okay, can you explain it?
Yes, ma'am. The state of South Carolina requires that we have and maintain a 10-year comprehensive plan. That plan sets a framework for how the town is to grow or not grow. And every 5 years, we're asked to update it. So we have to refile it every 10, and then every 5, we have to update it. This is one of the 10-year cycles in which we are completely redoing the comprehensive plan. The survey is intended to reach out inside the community and give you an opportunity to provide feedback based on the questions that are asked. We've also had 2 open community meetings for this same plan, previous one at Unity Presbyterian and one at Fort Mill Elementary. The schedule and the announcements for those meetings have been shared on Facebook and on our website.
Was that this year?
It's been in the last, what, Penelope, 2 months? June and May and June?
April was the first open
April,
house
okay.
meeting, and then the second one was in June.
Okay, so we've had 2 public meetings. We have this survey. We will have other surveys about the downtown area and about our parks that will go out, and anyone and everyone is welcome to fill those out. The more people that fill them out, the better idea we get as to how to construct or revise the plan that's in place. So it is an opportunity. Have you been able to fill out one of the
I
surveys?
wasn't gonna do it when people were passing it around, and I said no.
We-
I didn't know what it was for, and I said I'm going to go and ask questions before I put my name on something or fill one of these things out. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I'm doing the right thing instead of just
Yes,
filling out
ma'am.
paperwork and not knowing really what. I mean,
That's-
people use logos all the time.
That's wise, Miss Johnny, that's wise. So that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay, but it is legitimate, and it is something that we've talked about inside our council meetings as well. So thank you for asking. Penelope, are we still accepting surveys?
Yeah, so, Mayor and Council, I took the initiative with my staff to get out to communities that do not have access for internet.
Got
So
it.
we sent out a lot, we printed 300 surveys for the Historic Paradise community.
Mhm.
And a spokesperson, Danielle Redmond, took those surveys.
Okay.
And that was for the comprehensive plan.
Got it.
And unfortunately, we only got like 5 back of
Ooh.
the hard copies.
Oh,
But there is an opportunity now for the downtown master plan. And so if you would like for me to print some more hard copies, I can give her my information.
Would you
But
do
it-
that?
But it's also online.
Yeah.
You can take the survey online as well. But our goal here for the town of Fort Mill is to include everyone in this comprehensive plan rewrite, and also for the downtown master plan. And like you mentioned, then we will have the Parks and Rec.
Right.
open.
can you make sure that she has your information? This is our town planner, Miss Murdoch. This is Penelope. She's as kind as the day is long, and she will help you get the right information so your voice can be heard and before we set those plans into place, okay?
Can I say one more thing though?
Yes, of course.
There's another picture there. I told the lady that I would say something. It's like a flood in the back of their home, and they said when they came out and did the work on Joe Louis and Steel Street, we already talked about the block thing, so
Yes,
that was the work.
yes.
And she said that since they've done that work,
Mm-hmm.
she has a flood in the back of her house. It's a picture, it's hard to see, but you'll see it.
Okay.
Where you can see where there's water back
Did you
there.
send it to me?
I can send it to you,
Send
because
it
it's got
to
more
me.
color that way.
Yeah, send it to me. And this is Kerry Vargo. He's our town manager.
Hey, Carrie.
And this is Eric Burns. He's over the crew members that make those repairs. I'll
Okay.
make certain they get the pictures, and we'll follow up.
Because
Uh,
they're
ju-
where they're having the children's camp.
Okay.
It's all in there too, because the
Okay.
bicycles, you'll see it, the bicycles.
I
I've
saw
seen
the
it.
bicycles in one of the pictures.
Yeah, the water's all out there.
Okay.
So-
We will take care of it. We did get on your first request and had the utilities
Yes, you did.
located
Yes, ma'am.
and went out and checked that. And I know repairs were supposed to have been made. If they weren't by the end of the week last week, during this week, the weather has certainly turned ugly for anyone outside, but we will get it fixed, okay?
All right, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, I do not have anyone else signed in for comment, public comment this evening. Thank you for your patience. We will move to the first old business item, public hearing and second reading, an ordinance establishing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance and processing of applications for rezoning or annexation of the new residential developments. We will open the public hearing now. Does anyone want to speak to the ordinance establishing a temporary moratorium? Hearing none, public hearing is closed. Chris, do you have anything new for council before we take our vote, our second vote?
Yes, Mayor. There has been one change made to the text of the ordinance, and really all that change did was further clarify that any project that has already begun the process towards annexation or rezoning by starting a traffic impact analysis, which is our first step, would be exempt from this moratorium.
Okay. Did everybody on council understand that? We're just clarifying that anything that's in the works would not be affected by our moratorium.
And that's effective when we,
The moratorium would be in effect upon council approval and would run through December 31st.
And this is our final reading, is it not?
That is correct.
Okay, so it would be effective tonight through
That is
the end
correct.
of the year. All right, any further questions?
Make a motion to approve old business item number one.
I have
I'll
a
second.
motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, thank you so much. All right. Old business item number 2, second reading, an ordinance amending the budget for the town of Fort Mill, South Carolina for the fiscal year beginning October the 1st, 2024, and ending September 30th, 2025. Amendment number 25-14, Eric Davis.
good evening, Mayor, Council. The proposed budget amendment before you is required in order to complete the renovations to the town hall. This amendment appropriates $6 million from the general fund balance and will transfer those funds to the capital project fund. This is the second reading for the amendment, and there are no changes from the first reading, and I'll
Thank
be
you.
happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for Eric?
There's no changes to the first reading.
No, sir.
All right.
This should get us all the way through and
Yes,
to
sir.
completion, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve old business item number 2.
All right, I have
second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, thank you so much. Now we'll move into new business. New business item number 1, consideration to amend the Town of Fort Mill's internal controls memo. Debbie, I would absolutely not pronounce it properly. I know now who you are, but please join us.
I'm Debbie Credible, the Finance Director here for the town of Fort Mill. The internal controls is a document that we use pretty much primarily for the audit. So at the end of each fiscal year, the auditors review our internal control policy, which is this document that we're talking about right now, and they do testing to make sure we're all following the control policy. And so since we've had so much turnover with staff over the last year or so, we've had to revise it. My revisions are in red. It has a lot to do with just names and people. And then there were a few things that we changed in, like the cash receipt area because we're now going to be going to remote capture, we're going to have a cash vault. So there's just some things that are changing within the town that we just needed to document. This document will technically be for the 2025 fiscal year audit because we're already past the 24 audit. So it's really just you guys reviewing it and making sure you don't have any disagreements with the slight changes that we've made and approving it to move forward. It's kind of like a moving document. It will continue to change as the town changes and as GASB regulations change, which is the way we have to account for things in our audit and in our financial statements. So anytime GASB comes up with a new rule that they say you have to do it this way, we may have to amend the internal controls going forward.
I am thrilled to see us taking steps forward with technology and processes that in years gone by we didn't have. And I'm really happy with the knowledge that you bring and the ability for us to upgrade. And it seems to be happening more frequently. So I'm very happy about that. Council, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so I applaud the process control. I would say I read it. I would ask that we insert the positions and not the people, because
Yeah.
some places we're calling them by first name, some places we have first name, last name, and as you mentioned, those positions could change. So personally, I would prefer it be the accounting supervisor then does step 2, or the data collector does step, and also you could create a chart, and where I'm an IT guy, so you could actually, where you updated that, it would update the whole document each time there was a change. But it just is a little confusing. I don't know who Mitzi is and who
I
is that
do.
and the other. So, but other than that, I applaud the effort to do that because it is more of a controlled process. It was just a little, I got lost in the name, so.
And I 100% agree with you and had the same exact feeling and the same exact response when I saw this document originally when I came here. Why would we put in names that may change however often? My understanding from existing staff that's here now is that our auditors requested we used physical names. What I can do is go back to our new auditors and see if they're willing to accept just the positions, and if so, I could revise it and come back to you once I have the answer to them.
Or do both, put their names and then their positions, because like I said, I don't know who Mitzi is or what she does.
Yeah.
But, Mrs. Brown, it would be, but if you would put their title beside it.
Yeah.
But it'd be very easy to make this a easily edited document, so as they change, it could automatically feed it. Gordon's nodding his head over here, so he could actually help you do it. It's pretty simple in Excel, Word, anything. But overall, I think it's a great step forward.
Yes.
But I just kind of say, yeah, it needs a little love. But other than that, it's great. And then I also would like to, I think the document says you're going to use it during this audit process. So whatever we can do to make our audit processes better, we are all for it.
Absolutely.
So, and then that's how you do it. You try to work through it, and we need a little fine tuning here or there or the other. But overall, I think it was great. That was the only comment I had.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment?
Can I ask just
Yeah,
one quick
of
question?
course.
Under the revenues portion where it says water and sewer, should that be, I'm just confused. It says 11,221. Is that like a date, or what does that mean? I don't.
That's how many different unique accounts that we have.
Oh, okay. All right.
Accounts, not dollars.
Right. I just didn't know. I was just curious. So 11,221 water and sewer accounts. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
Yes, it's
you.
good.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve new business item number 1.
Have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, approve on new business item number 1. New business item number 2, a resolution of the Town of Fort Mill authorizing the granting of a perpetual easement to Duke Energy over town property identified as York County Tax Map Number 02001233013 for the installation and maintenance of electric and communications facilities. Carrie Vargo, our town manager, will lead us through this one.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Off of Massey Street, to the rear of 123 North White Street, formerly known as the Pike Building, is a Duke Electric substation. That substation not only services our two buildings, but it also services approximately 1,100 residential properties in that area. Duke is working to make some improvements to include building in additional redundancy to that particular substation. As part of that, they're requesting a 20-foot perpetual easement so that they can run an overhead line from Fail Street into the substation. That's much more convenient than what was previously shared with council when they were looking to locate several large poles in the parking lot of 123 North White, et cetera. So we're very, very supportive of their re-engineered plan. So with that said, attached for your review and consideration is the resolution which authorizes a perpetual, non-exclusive easement to Duke Energy Carolinas. The mayor had already referenced the tax map 020-01-23-013 for the installation and maintenance of underground electric and communications facilities. Again, the easement grants Duke Energy a 20-foot wide corridor with an additional 10-foot wide buffer around the transformer and the vault in order to construct, operate, repair, and replace utility infrastructure. The resolution authorizes the town manager to execute the easement and any ancillary documents. There is no financial impact. Consideration is $1 from Duke, and Duke is responsible for all other costs.
Any questions?
How many trees are they gonna take out?
I don't have that question. They're essentially scrub trees to the rear of 212 and 210 Fail Street. So I don't really know. There's not any significant tree cover there. It's more scrub type stuff, scrub vegetation.
Behind Pike Building down Fail Street that way, or?
Correct. It's between the substation and it's actually adjacent to the backyards of Fail Street.
And have those property owners been notified?
Yes, they're well aware.
Did Duke make that notification,
Du-
or are we?
Duke made that notification, and
Right.
they've actively been working with the property owner located at, let me verify, I'm giving you the correct information.
It's like
I know my
210
power
and
used to come off
212.
That substation, but now it comes up Harris Street instead.
Yeah, Duke has actively been working with the property owner at 210
Got it.
Fail Street, which is the more impacted property.
And that is not our property, so yes, it's good to ask that they're doing what's appropriate for the citizen in that area. But the issue at hand is to allow them a perpetual easement across town land.
And what's the timing of the project? How long will it take?
It's going to be very, very quick. Previously, they had estimated potentially several months with lead time, ordering, actual construction, but now that they're just going overhead from Fail Street across the property at 210 Fail Street, it's going to be very, very quick. It's under a week.
Perfect. And has our town attorney reviewed all this documentation?
The town attorney has seen this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Gary, a couple places have replaced this as, the facilities to be underground. Now you're saying it's going to be overhead?
Yeah, a large majority of the facilities, specifically the facilities that are specific to the easement, my understanding is they're overhead from Fail Street across 210 Fail into the substation.
Okay. Because the way it specifies, it will be underground in a couple places, it says except. So
Yeah, there will be underground infrastructure that's immediately adjacent to the substation. I can't speak intelligently as to what that infrastructure is, whether it's grounding or, I couldn't tell you.
And there will be no buildings of infrastructure there?
Cor-
I mean, other than a pole or whatever they're going to put up?
Correct.
It's a little vague that they can construct, but it doesn't say any restrictions. So Barry's looked at it, he's done it's a standard easement, I get it. That's kind of prime property that we might want to do something with in the future, and I just want to make sure we don't impose a restriction on it day one where we can't do something.
No, and again, the easement that we would be granting would be essentially in an unusable area of
Yeah, I mean,
that
I get that,
property.
but
Yeah,
I don't
that
want to
sits.
build a 20 by 20 building right
No,
in the
no,
parking
no,
lot.
no.
Right, so.
Now, this paper you got, says that there'll be an underground path on 212 Fail Street.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Great point. So what they're doing is making improvements for the property owner at 212 Fail Street. So they've also been communicating with that particular property owner, and they're showing that on this plan.
Remember, this is all for information, for us to understand the project as a whole. Tonight's issue is to determine if we want to allow a perpetual easement across the corner of our property.
What are the consequences if we don't allow the easement?
So right now, my understanding is that substation is down. It's redundant circuit. So if that circuit fails, there are 1,100 homes that are without power, and Duke is going to be, it's going to be a challenge for them to put that substation back up. So it's really a public benefit that we're working with them. And again, the positive is they've re-engineered this so that it's a much more convenient and expeditious process than what we were originally discussing with them.
So they're creating a loop, so you can feed it from either way?
It's the main, Mayor, you can help me with this, it's the feeder circuits. It's the distribution. I'm sorry, the distribution line.
There's a small transmission line that runs back there, and then it feeds the distribution lines.
Yeah.
But this is all in relations to a requirement for increased reliability, and that gets looked at by the regulatory bodies on an annual basis. So they've been doing just like they did downtown when they moved the lines away from the backs of the store buildings on Main. That was also related to the same issue, reliability, making sure that they upgrade our system and that we see fewer and fewer outages.
Yeah, that's what I said, they're creating a loop
Yeah.
both ways, so if it comes out one way, it comes back.
Well, they're building a whole new substation off the bypass, so they have to reroute and keep balance in the system.
Yeah, they also did improvements like this, if you recall, to the substation that feeds this particular building.
they
That's
did.
the substation that's located off of Ardrey Street.
Where's the existing secondary one that's down now? Where does that come from?
It's underground, and it runs under our property at 123 North White.
Well, that's kind of where I was going, so if there's already easement for that, why do they just replace that?
Replacing it underground is going to be labor-intensive, incredibly costly. It's going to require us to work much more extensively with them. So they've worked with the property owner at 210 Fail and the property owner at 212 Fail to make this a much easier project.
And I assure you, while underground looks nice, your outages are much longer because they're harder to find. We have had outages when I worked for Duke in Charlotte, 100,000 people, one snake in a cable tray. So at least if it's overhead, they can ride and see the lines and see if it's a limb on a line or a reclosure that's popped. When it's underground, it's a whole different animal, so they're much longer and much more expensive. So they work to do the reliability the very best they can because they are regulated to do that. Questions? Hearing none, I need a
Make a
motion.
motion to approve new business item number 2.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, thank you so much. Now we'll move into the information discussion portion. Penelope, you're going to guide us on an update to the comprehensive plan.
Yes, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. We did close the survey, the comprehensive plan survey, and the total number of responses that we did receive was 859. We also, in the month of June, held our second open house meeting at Fort Mill Elementary School, and we also held our second comprehensive plan steering committee meeting. So the consultant, Bolton and Mink, is just taking all this public engagement and feedback and working on the drafts that they will be sharing with us for the comprehensive plan.
Wonderful. I attended the meeting with the comprehensive plan, and I was very impressed to see the amount of information they were able to glean from the surveys and the public meetings of what's important to the residents of Fort Mill, what they'd like to see more of and less of, and I promise you roads were on, well, many of them. So you wouldn't find too many surprises in the information, but it's information that's verifiable and is given to us from the public, so thank you.
And just for the audience to know, our website, www.fortmillsc.gov/our-path-forward, we are putting everything on that website for both the comprehensive plan and now how we're moving on to the downtown master plan. So you can receive more information online and also through social media as well.
Wonderful.
Penelope, I had a question at the Fort Mill Elementary meeting when I went to that one, and one person would put the same comment on 10 different boards. And so it is going to come up multiple times where it's really only one person's wishes or idea. How are we weighing that type of feedback?
Well, I mean, those boards, there were like 33 boards, so
Yes.
they're different. I mean, there's some similar themes, but they're basically different. So they're just looking at, what is the number of stickers on there of people, do they want to see more trails? Do they want to see, better road conditions or better design standards? So we're just collecting based on the amount of stickers on each picture of what they would like to see.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to commend on the follow up with the mayor. The data that they're doing is outstanding. It's very impressive. They've used all kinds of technology to gather things, and it's went to one of the open houses. I think it's commend them on their efforts so far. Very exciting to see what they come up with. And the other thing that I thought was very almost everything that was brought forward so far is stuff that we've been preaching. I think we're pretty much in lockstep. So the community is, I think, it's nice to see that we're not saying this is the issue and somebody else saying this. No, we're all trying to work together, the community, the council, and they're kind of confirming what we already think we know. But, please have the more input we get, the better the data is going to be.
Yes,
So,
and I agree, and I just want to state for the record, Bolton and Mink has been really great. I've been doing this for 20 years, so working with a consultant, they are the A-team of consultants. They have a lot of people on their project team that are working with Bolton and Mink that are very intelligent, very innovative data collection, landscape architects that we're going to be working on charrettes and work sessions. So it's very exciting time, and I do agree with you, Councilman Wolf. They're really listening to staff, but also to the public and also to the mayor and council. And that's the key for a successful comprehensive plan, because at the end of the day, the comprehensive plan is for the town of Fort Mill. It's not for the consultants. It's for this community. And I think that's what the goal is at the
And thank you
at
for
the end of
taking the
process.
initiative to get I didn't know the printed ones were out, but that's great because I know some of the older
Yes.
community don't have computers or don't know how to use it, so that's a great, we want as much input as we can, so that's a
Sure.
great,
And
thank you for doing
anybody
that.
that you know in the community that doesn't have internet, just let me know. I'll be happy to print. I just need to know that they're actually going to get to the participants, because we are using our money from a budget standpoint to make sure we print those documents.
Wonderful, wonderful. A great effort too, Penelope. Thank you. Any further questions for Penelope on our comprehensive plan? And this comprehensive plan will be completed by the end of the year.
Yes, so first, Mayor, it would go to the Planning Commission. So state law requires us to have 2 scheduled public hearing meetings. One would be in November at Planning Commission, and then your December council meeting, you will have a public hearing and then adopt the comprehensive plan.
Awesome. Wonderful. Okay. No further questions? All right, Penelope, you're also down for item number 2. Double dip tonight. Downtown master plan update.
Yes, so we kicked this off. What date was that? It was also June 11th. That day at noon, we had our first downtown steering committee meeting, just giving them homework about the downtown master plan, introducing the consultant team. We also that day launched the survey. So that survey right now, it is open, the Downtown Master Plan Survey. It's open until July 18th. I'm happy to report that in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, we have already received 466 responses. So we got 3
did
more
mine.
weeks.
I was the first one. I did it during the steering committee meeting.
Yeah. So definitely, we have 3 more weeks. Please get the word out. I'm a firm believer, also get the youth, because they're our future leaders. So high schoolers, they should be able to be taking this survey. Again, we're doing the same public engagement of trying to get this survey out. So our goal, again, is 1,000 responses. So far, we're halfway there. Hopefully, we'll get that done.
We hold up fireworks until you do the survey. Everybody has to do the survey before we do the fireworks.
I'm working on a A-frame to be out there that night.
There you go.
So for people to use the QR code. So you'll be seeing something at the
did
amphitheater
1,000 with
for that
Auction
collection. Also, for council to know, for this downtown master plan, your opinion really matters for this downtown master plan. So they're having a work session, the consultants, and I will be sending, Chris Pettit and I will be sending the mayor and then all of you all some dates for Wednesday, I believe July 16th. And this is for one-on-one interviews with council for the specific questions for the downtown. I don't know if you remember that when Bolton and Mink was here, they talked about Jen Gregory, the retail analyst throughout the country. She will be here in Fort Mill for those 3 days. And so we're going to be collecting a lot of feedback. The landscape architects will be in this room collecting, or just trying to see what kind of design elements should be done for the downtown master plan. And so we're going to be putting some stuff out into the emails and just to have that feedback with the public engagement. But primarily the goal is the downtown survey to collect all the information.
Excellent.
It is excellent. We're making progress.
We are.
I
We're
love
staying
it.
busy.
And again, glad we can bring it all together and do it in the same year because of the fiscal savings we have and efficiencies with it. So thank them for staying with us for the whole year in these projects.
All righty. No further questions. Thank you, Penelope. A lot of work for you this year. Thank you. All right. We do have an executive session this evening. Please note that council may take action on executive session items listed on the agenda when they come back into public session. Executive session item number 1 is a discussion of employment or personnel matters, employment, appointment, compensation, promotion, demotion, discipline, or release of an employee, student, or person regulated by the body, or appointment of a person to a public body. Executive session item number 2, discussion of negotiations incident to proposed contractual arrangements with York County. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you. We will return. Let the record reflect that no vote was taken or action taken by council in executive session. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to return to regular session.
I'll make a motion to return to regular session.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. With that, that concludes our business for the evening. Does anyone have anything for the good of the whole? Carrie?
No, ma'am.
Gordon? Oh, I'd like to sing Gordon's praises for a moment. I've already told Carrie this, but one morning this past week, one of the hot mornings, really hot mornings, I was out trying to do my tennis in the morning. There were 100+ kids at camps. I mean, it was scalding hot, and guess what? Water fountain didn't work. Bottle filler didn't work. And I called Gordon, because staff out there were kind of like, and not only did Gordon get somebody out there within 10 minutes to get it fixed, Gordon himself went and bought cases of water and took it out there for the kids. So y'all don't make fun of Gordon. Gordon did a good thing. I can see it on the faces of your bud rows. This is the kind of thinking that impresses me when you take it on your own to recognize more than just the request, but what can I do to make it better? And it was so well received. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, Mr. Wolf, we're glad to have you back.
Thank you, Mayor. My comments are, it's for people who haven't been here very long, it's June in the south, and it's hot. And it's going to be hot for several months.
Yes.
So a lot of stuff you mentioned, please take time to take care of your neighbors and your
Yeah.
pets and your friends, especially elderly that don't have air conditions. And also say thanks to the police officers, the firemen, and the utility guys. And I think about the police officers with all that gear and the black outfit standing out at the street, that's hot on the asphalt. It's also an exciting time in Fort Mill. We have a lot of activities underway and numerous projects that will benefit all the residents. We're also working on our master plans, our comp plan, and this is an opportunity, as mentioned earlier, for the people to get involved, to fill out the surveys, attend open houses and other ways to get feedback in. So that's very important for us. I often say this is your community too, and people ask what they can do. Here's a great opportunity for the community to step up and give us feedback, which will help affect where we go for the next foreseeable future, our project. So I appreciate all of that Penelope and that group are working on. It's great so far, and look forward to their final results.
Great. Mr. Moody?
It was a good meeting tonight, staff. Thank you for all you do for the town. I know that we've got a lot of moving parts, lots of planning going on right now, but thank you for that. Looking forward to July 3rd and 4th celebrations coming up. Hopefully we'll get a little break in the heat before then, but other than that, I'm good.
Ronnie?
I'm good.
Lisa?
So I was going to mention this, Mr. Moody did July 3rd, Thursday from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. will be our Independence Day celebration here at Walter Elijah Park. And then the 53rd annual firing of the cannons is on Friday, July 4th from 10 to 11. Back to the theme of the day, it will be hot, so be prepared for it. Be sure that you have lots of water on hand. The other thing I want to make sure that we're cautioning the citizens of the area is a lot of people are floating the river right now. I see it frequently. We were out there kayaking the other day ourselves and had to rescue two fairly young children. One child didn't even have a life jacket on. The parents were in a tube, let the kids get on a rock for a minute, and then the parents got separated and thought the kids could swim to them. Do not advise that. Please make sure you're looking at the release schedule for the dam. Please know it can turn to a very critical life-saving opportunity real fast out there. So just be cautious, know where you're going. Make sure you get to the correct side of the river when you're trying to get out. Just use some common sense out there. It is very dangerous. So just wanted to say that. Well, you. Alan?
With as hot as it is, everybody's walking their dogs. Just some stats on air temperature versus the temperature of concrete and asphalt. At 80 degrees, concrete is 95 degrees to the surface. Asphalt is 115. Take that up to 95 degrees, concrete is 140 degrees on the surface, and asphalt is 155. I've seen dog paws that have burned, and your first, second degree burns. So if it's too hot for your bare feet, please take your dogs off of it and walk them early in the morning or late in the evening. So as the owner of 4 dogs myself, it's, But that's it. Just can't wait for 4th of July.
Ben?
Just kind of echo what we talked about with the 3rd and the 4th, these small town, the festivals, the gatherings, the cannon firing and all, that really does it for me. That warms my heart, small town. I enjoy that a lot. I'm going to beat it to death. I can't stress. Go do the survey for the comp plan. That's what it's there for. So if you want change, if you want input, this is an opportunity. Otherwise, if you don't participate, it's hard to really complain too much about it. So please go and take that survey.
Eric? Chris?
I'm good.
All right. I'll wrap up by saying with all the events in the world tonight, as I tried to consider what I would say at the beginning and in the prayer, I'm so thankful we live here. We live in Fort Mill, in a small burg of the world where people know each other, we care about each other. We have our issues, but there's really not anywhere else in the world that feels like I could be as happy as I am here or as safe on a given day. And I'm thankful for what each of you contributes to my world. So thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate our community and the chance to provide service. That's what we do. So thank you all for what you do. I appreciate you. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Ooh, somebody wants to go home.
I'll second. Ronnie can have it, I'll
We
second.
got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Happy to have you all here.